Good morning, St. Louis. Welcome to the last stop of Season 6 on the STL Donut Tour. For this week's episode, I'll be highlighting my top 10 favorite places around St. Louis to get a spectacular sour cream old-fashioned. This version of the old-fashioned is a lot more prevalent around the area than the Buttermilk style is, with about 45 out of 60 shops selling them. What I'm looking for is a thick, crisp glaze, nice and set and soaked in to a deep golden colored donut with a sturdy outside crust and a rich, creamy, soft cake center. So grab a cup of coffee and let's take a closer look at those sour cream old-fashions.
Starting off today at JMC Donuts on Natural Bridge Road, we have the first of my favorite glazed sour cream old fashions. Super soft and creamy cake with a crisp golden crust and thick crunchy glaze is a surefire winner in my book. This is just a fantastic version of this donut, and I'm really glad I stopped back in for one. If you're a fan of this style, then you need to check out JMC Donuts. Next up, from the Sweet Spot Cafe in St. Anne, Missouri, we have a fantastic chocolate-iced sour cream old-fashioned. The chocolate icing here looks like a perfect chocolate shell enveloping the top of the donut. It's thick and rich and even gets deep down inside the cracks and crevices like the glaze does, giving this donut some spots that are extra chocolatey. The old-fashioned itself is beautifully rich and creamy with an almost perfect crispiness from the icing and deep golden crust. These donuts are just amazing and are definitely on my list of favorite old-fashions around St. Louis. Following that, I recommend Yummy's Donut Palace in Collinsville and Edwardsville, Illinois for their glazed blueberry sour cream old fashions. I absolutely love it when shops do variations on old fashions, and this has got to be one of my favorite donuts from today's stop. It has that texture contrast that we're looking for, with the thick sugary glaze and the creamy soft cake, and then on top of that, it's got so much blueberry in it that it's purple. This isn't just a regular old-fashioned with some blueberries thrown in. This is packed, loaded, a bountiful harvest of blueberries. My blueberry cake donut fans out there need to try these. After that, you've got to try the glazed sour cream old-fashioned from Tony's Donuts in Hazelwood. This is a fabulous donut. Crispy glaze on a nicely fried golden cake donut with a soft creamy center. It has a slightly tangy flavor that tastes amazing with all the sweetness coming from the glaze. Absolutely beautiful, just like the one from Maryland Heights. Up next is Old Town Donuts in Florissant, Missouri with their beautiful glazed sour cream old fashioned. Old Town's version of this classic is one of my favorites. It's got a nice golden color on it with an extra thick sugary glaze, giving it a satisfying crunch when you bite into it. The inside cake is creamy and soft with a delicious buttery rich flavor that melts in your mouth. Next up, we're visiting Old Town Donuts in Fenton, Missouri for a delectably soft and creamy glazed sour cream old fashioned. The creaminess and tang from the sour cream blends real well with the honey in this crunchy, thick glaze. Just the right balance of crunchy and soft that we're looking for, and it's just absolutely delicious. After that, you need to check out John's Donuts on South Broadway for one of the best glazed sour cream old fashions in the city. And we have another picture-perfect classic donut. The glaze all thick and sugary piled up in the center crevice. Breaking it open, we find a rich, creamy cake with a good sweet buttery flavor. That thick glaze gives it a satisfying crisp crack when I break it open. I love that. I should have gotten two. For the next shop on our list, we're visiting Drew's Donut Stop in Arnold for one of my favorite glazed sour cream old fashions on the tour. Wow, what a beautiful donut. Deep golden color with a thick crunchy glaze seeping into the cake. This is the kind of old fashioned I love. Soft and creamy center with a great slightly tangy flavor and a thick sugary crunch from the glaze for that perfect texture combination. Definitely a destination donut for sure. Our next stop on the top 10 is Donut Palace in Ellisville, Missouri with their glazed cinnamon sour cream old fashioned.
I really love this one. This donut has a beautiful crunchy glaze with just the right amount of sweetness. This has really nice cake. It's just soft with a good crumble, a very nice density. This is great for dunking. Overall, this is just a beautiful donut. I love the cinnamon addition to this.
And the last stop on my list of favorites is the Donut Hole in Barnhart, Missouri. If you're up for the drive, they have some of the best sour cream old fashions I've had and are well worth the trip.
This donut has a creamy, melt-in-your-mouth texture with a nice, thick, sugary glaze. The inside looks absolutely soaked in this glaze, and this old-fashioned tastes just amazing.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the STL Donut Tour. I'm going to take a week off, and then I'll be back the first week of August with Season 7, where I'll have more highlights, and I'll also have a few more revisits and part 2 of your favorite shops. Make sure to click that like and subscribe button down below so you don't miss another episode of the STL Donut Tour, where I'm looking for the gateway to the West through fried dough. Have a great day, everyone.